Welcome to NFL Cutdown Day. 1 hour till they got to be in, but more likely it takes a little while because the fax machine gets jammed, so the information doesn't necessarily get over. Ear to the ground sports here, buddy here with Sarah. Sarah, how we doing on this lovely August 30th?
Um, I am trying to not be stressed about what's happening.
No
I
reason.
feel I think I just get nervous every year, although I think this is one of those few seasons where, as far as the Patriots go, we're probably not going to see anything like massive or unpredictable. At least I'm hoping not. Now that I said it out loud, we are.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You
let's
just
let's hope it's not
you
it's not.
you totally jinxed everything. Robert Marcello, if you need an invite, I can send you on if you want to jump in at any point in time. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, trust me. Today's been a fun day, but been doing a lot of this. So if you want to go through the cuts we have so far and just um, we can kind of see, like we said, nothing really surprising. I think the biggest one is Justin Bethel at this point in time, but
Yeah, because I have the list right here, and I feel like I I don't feel like there's really anything super shocking. And of course, they will do these cuts or waves or whatever, and then we'll have to see who comes back and who clears waivers and who was just a formality because they have to put someone on IR. So, um, yeah, should I just read all the names?
yeah, go through it. Well, when
Okay.
anything interesting, we'll stop.
So these are the ones that were waived. So it was Devin Asiasi and Drew Desjar. Oh my God, Desjarlais. I
This
can't say his last.
Lares, the
Um, Kevin Harris, which I know some people were shocked about because they just drafted him, but we're still not sure about the health of Ty Montgomery. So it's possible that he comes back, especially because they also waived JJ Taylor. But that might be a good indicator that Montgomery's coming back, that maybe his injury is not as bad as people thought it was. So,
okay
um,
from conversation I had this morning.
mhm.
Montgomery will be on the roster today and go to IR tomorrow with
Oh, okay.
uh, Thornton. And just a couple of third down backs who did become
Mhm.
available today. Duke Johnson is an experienced third down back, and
Mhm.
Philip Lindsay is another one who
Yeah.
was cut by the Colts.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were hoping for or talking about Lindsay for the Patriots. Also waived was Arlington, Hambright, JJ Taylor, like I said, William Sherman, who was also just drafted, and Josh Hammond. And then released was Terrence Mitchell, Harvey Lange, Justin Bethel, Henry Anderson, and Nate Wheeland was also something. I don't know. We don't know if he was waived or released, I don't think.
Yeah, depend. He does. I don't know what his status is as far as service waived, um, and released is the 4 year marker in
Yeah.
somebody's career.
Yeah.
So that is
So
that
that's all
point.
the Patriots for now. Obviously they're one of the teams that tends to trickle news out a lot slower than other teams. So, um, I'm sure we're going to be hearing about it very slowly for the next hour.
All right, ear to the ground sports here for you. E2G Sports. Cutdown day. We'll bring in MJ. How are we today, MJ?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
So, uh, banners. We talk Pat's cuts. Um, what team are you looking to see cuts from? I'll start with you, MJ. Anybody out there who probably has a pretty good roster and then maybe help that sticks out?
What are you? So you're talking about what is there like for the in regards to the Patriots? That could be looking towards.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of the stuff with the running back position, obviously with the Ty Montgomery injury that happened on Friday. But it seems as though that the ankle injury, it looked like it was going to be a serious injury that he got carted off the field. That It's not as serious as we thought it might be. So maybe I was thinking that they probably would go with the running back depth, like a guy like Marlon Mack got cut. We heard Rex Burkhead might be out there, just a familiar face for the Pats, something to kind of compensate for what they're losing in Ty Montgomery. But it seems as though he's going to be sticking. And obviously we saw J.J. Taylor and Kevin Harris let go. But I'd be looking, I would prefer them to look at cornerback depth, because I can't imagine that they're going to go into the season and going with Jalen Mills and Jonathan Jones or Jack Jones as their top two corners. Well, as we all know, Jonathan Jones is more so a slot receiver, a nickel, nickel packages. I think they need to get someone that, someone I wouldn't say like a Joe Hayden or a Chris Harris. I know those guys are out there. Those are a little, on the older side, but something, a cornerback like that with some outside presence other than, sticking Jonathan Jones out there and seeing, he has looked good in camp, but seeing what you're going to get out of him. You don't want to take chances, especially the way this camp has looked. You want to get, hit the ground running going forward. But yeah, cornerback and O-line depth. I saw Hambright and Sherman were both cut, so they're going to need some interior depth in there. Just like a swing guard or something of that nature. But those are the two positions. They always make 2 or 3 moves of guys that got cut or claimed, or a small trade here and there prior to the season. So as far as names go, like I can't really think of any names off the top of my head. I have to look who's getting cut and who's on the trading block. But those are 2 positionals that I actually would look to see the Patriots attack going forward.
Sarah, you gave a few positions there, and bring your comments. Anybody has any comments or questions? Mitchell gone.
Yeah,
Terrence
T. Mitchell.
Mitchell,
Terrence Mitchell.
Oh yeah. Oh, T. Mitchell. Yes, he was cut a little while ago. Anywhere you're looking, Sarah? Names catching your eyes so far as we talk it with 53 minutes left?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen anything so far. I mean, of course, anything with the defense or like MJ said, offensive line, that is what I'm focusing on. But I haven't really seen anything that has come across my Twitter feed from all the news that's breaking. Nothing that stands out, but I'm assuming that they're going to have their eye on somebody, especially for the line, because they already released 2 of their guys and they were already lacking depth. So I would like to think that maybe they have their eye on somebody, but I don't know who that is because, like I said, none of the names that have come across my screen so far have been interesting enough for me to be like, yeah, they should definitely be trying to get that guy. I would have to look too to see like who might be on the bubble for some teams that they could be looking at too. I'm gonna look that up now.
A guy that I was interested in just got traded. Trayvon Mullen from the Raiders.
Yes, I just saw that. That's just breaking.
He just got traded to the Cardinals. That was a guy I was thinking, with McDaniels in Las Vegas. They were obviously there last week. You can look to see if there's maybe a potential deal there. I know he was injured to start camp and he just came off the injured list, probably a couple weeks ago. So I kind of doubted that would, be a possibility. But seeing he got traded, there's deals to be made as far as who's out there. That's yet to be seen. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there as far as the positional group that I had mentioned.
So D22 Williams, he was sorry to see Taylor and Hammond get waived. Hammond they picked up from Jacksonville as a wide receiver, and J.J. Taylor. This would have been his 3rd year here, and not everything's officially done with Taylor with the Montgomery situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
But do you consider either one of these guys a surprise that they got cut?
I'm not. I think given the depth that they have at running back, I'm not surprised about J.J. Taylor. And he, like you said, it was going to be another season where we were waiting to see him actually do something that felt like it was worthy of him taking up a roster spot. And if Montgomery is able to come back, then it just seemed less likely that Taylor was coming. And Hammond, we didn't get to see a whole lot of. We kept talking about little Jordan Humphrey, especially with those guys. So I didn't see Hammond taking a spot this year either.
MJ?
I thought J.J. Taylor would have made it like one of those 52 or 53, like that last spot, just to kind of help out until Montgomery is healthy enough to come back. But I think Kevin Harris is a guy. I mean, he didn't really have a great preseason, but I think that's a guy that if he clears waivers, he'll most likely. I think he'll get back on the practice squad, and I could see him at some point in the season with an injury here and there, him being elevated to the 53-man. We'll see. I don't think they want to give up on him just yet. JJ Taylor. We've heard all this potential of JJ Taylor, but we never really saw it. We thought he was going to be kind of that James White, pass catching back role, and maybe it's just his size. He's so tiny that's maybe it just couldn't really catch on with the team. But I think that's a guy that I think another team may look at him and maybe see him in a particular role, maybe as the same role as that role that I just mentioned. But I think Kevin Harris, I wasn't surprised. I think they're very deep, even with Montgomery out. I mean, they still have Harris, they still have Stevenson. Pierre Strong was a high, fourth-round draft pick, so they're going to give him a shot. So you definitely, I wasn't surprised about Taylor, and a little bit surprised about Harris, but not as surprised. So I think they're pretty much set on that running back position so far.
All right, the next question, someone you brought up, MJ. I'll let you go first, and then Sarah. Ear to the Ground Sports Cutdown Day Special. Sarah, MJ, at E2G founder. Come in with your comments, questions, anything you're hearing. Feel free to join the show. Do you think he can come cheap in the player you mentioned in Joe Hayden, MJ?
I think he can. He's 33 years old at this point, so I don't know what he has left in the tank. I mean, he's been decent. He had a really good career. He was really decent for the the Steelers these last few years. I think he would come cheap. I'm not sure if he's one of those guys that's looking to not cash in, but at least go somewhere where he has a legitimate shot at winning. And that's at his he's down the line. I mean, he hasn't been on a team since last year. He hasn't played through training camp. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. But I think he may be looking for more so like say, for example, Tampa Bay or, Chiefs if they came calling. He would look at those kind of teams because he's probably at the, on his last legs and he's looking for a shot at a potential championship. But if he's willing to come, I'll take him. We need all the help we can get back there.
Sarah?
I'm seeing a breaking news for the Patriots. Mark Daniels of the Providence Journal is saying, according to sources, the Patriots are releasing Cam McGrone.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Down the chute.
So we'll have to see for more. It's that. Apparently that is true. So more people are tweeting about it now. I know we kind of talked about that. It was still kind of like, even though he wasn't living up to the hype and what people believed that he could be, I wasn't sure if they were actually going to make that move. I know some people felt like he was on the bubble and because he wasn't, exceptional in camp, but I don't know. I'm kind of surprised.
You know who's still here? Matt Patricia's pet.
Oh,
Tavaye.
Oh yeah, and I keep seeing people talking about how they want him cut, but
what did I say before the first? Matt Patricia will let him move in his home and sleep in a bunk bed before he cuts him because he needs to prove he was right to Detroit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised in that way.
Evan Lazar, who works at Patriots.com now, he said he is expecting that McGrone will probably go to the practice squad, that he'd be a perfect fit. So we shall see. Yeah. I was going to say too, I keep looking to see what people are talking about. So Alex Barth, who works,
if you want to check that stuff out, MJ, what do you think of the McGrone cut?
I mean, going into training camp or into like the off-season workouts, a lot of people were saying he could be, this year two stud for the team. And I didn't see it because obviously we didn't see him at all last year with the injury he suffered in college. But like you said, Sarah said, Evan Lazar said, I think, his put him on the practice squad, see what else you can get out of him. Because I think it's still too soon to actually make a judgment on him. Didn't really flash in camp. Guys like Anthony Jennings, who really needed a camp to flash this preseason, actually did. And they're going to stick with the guns with Mac Wilson. And like you said, Jelani Tavai, Matt Patricia's guy, they're going to, it's kind of like that, his binky. And for some reason, he wants to have Bill's letting him do whatever he wants to do, which that's a topic for another day. The whole Matt Patricia, Bill Belichick relationship is a weird one. I wish he was best friends with like Brian Flores or something. I know, a better coach.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia's just, oh God, he's awful. But yeah, so yeah, I think McGrone, like I said with Harris, let those guys, take another year on the practice squad, maybe if needed, and in case of emergency, you can elevate them and see if they actually, later on in the year actually developed into a better, more capable football players. But yeah, I'm not too surprised. But I do see that they're like all the guys, Justin Bethel, Henry Anderson, Terrence Mitchell, all in their 30s, and Harvey Lange's getting up there as well. I think they're trying to. It proves that they're trying to get younger at the position. They never brought back Hightower. They never brought back Collins. They really never. People talked about it, but they never really even gave a shot to Trey Flowers, who is now in Miami. So they definitely are looking to, get younger at the linebacker position and on defense. They're trying to get faster. So, yeah, McGrone. If McGrone had flashed in camp, I would be surprised. But it was very underwhelming for him.
Sarah, do you have Mark Daniels' most recent tweet talking about Cameron McGrone?
Yeah, where he put a story.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. He says Cameron McGrone made a solid impression in Foxborough last season. Learning behind the scenes. This summer, however, it became a numbers game at middle linebacker with Jawan Bentley, Raekwon McMillan, and Mac Wilson. So I wonder if that means Mac Wilson's making the team.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I would love it. I love the little story with his son taking his first steps at Gillette. I'm like, you can't cut the man after that. Like, imagine that's like a horrible story you tell your kid, and then it's like, and then we didn't make the team, son. Like, that would be so awful.
What game was that? It was preseason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I look at that Mac Wilson for
Chase.
Yeah, Chase Winovich trade, and oh my God, did we fleece them? Oh, that's awful. That was like a Danny Ainge trade.
I'm so glad that happened too. Because a lot of people weren't excited about it at first either. Like, I was kind of surprised that people were upset about Winovich leaving. I'm like, why would you want him to stay? Like, what has he done since he was drafted that makes you think he's a good fit on this team? Like, I mean, this might re-energize him and maybe he'll be great on the Browns, but he certainly wasn't like holding it down where he needed to be on the Patriots. Like,
well, the thing is, Mac Wilson, obviously, if you know he went to college, Nick Saban guy, so I wasn't surprised when I wouldn't think they would have cut him either. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Mac Wilson, I was hoping for a little bit more out of him. Very much undersized, but at this point, it's like we'll see with the Patriots. I just don't know what Bill's really doing. I feel like this training camp, just awful story after awful story every day. It felt like we made no progress. It's definitely different from what it was last year, where people were excited because Mac Jones, all the offseason moves, and there was so much potential going in.
Yeah.
Now it just seems like it's over before it even started.
Just from another lost soul. Anyone think the Pats would try and sign Alex Leatherwood? Well, he has to clear waivers first.
Well, and according to Mr. Rappaport, they tried to trade him everywhere, including to their own team, and no one wanted him. So, I mean, he didn't look good against the Patriots. I mean, so if they were paying attention, which they obviously were, I would assume they didn't particularly like what they saw. But yeah, if he clears waivers, then I guess anything's possible.
I'm sure Bill has talked to Nick, and I'm sure that's already been opened. You know, what's going on here? What are we missing? What did you do to motivate this guy?
Yeah, no one's taking him. They say they owe him. He would be needing to take on $6 million in fully guaranteed money for the next 3 years. No one's picking him up. He's clearing waivers.
Yeah, he's clearing waivers.
Yeah.
We only have like $5 million in cap space. So yeah, well, if someone takes him, he takes him. Plus, he's primarily a tackle, right?
Yeah, and he might belong at guard.
Oh,
He was so good in college too. He really
well,
was.
maybe that's what Belichick will bring him in, thinking that he can like bring him back to what he was in college. You know how he likes a good project. So
he'll be sleeping at Belichick's house. Tavia will be sleeping at.
Yes, exactly.
Who's Joe Judge's binky? Bailey Zappi? Like he sleeps
Maybe.
over and they order DoorDash together and go through tape.
But what do you think they order?
I'm thinking Pizza Hut.
Jersey Mike's. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's some days, but yeah, there's a good mixture going on with Bailey Zappi. And
for some reason, when you said Pizza Hut, I feel like that just makes the most sense to me. Like as immediately as you said, I'm like, I can see that. They seem like Pizza Hut type of guys, you know?
I haven't had Pizza Hut in years. I don't even know where there is one.
There's one in Fall River. We'll talk. Maybe you can force me to watch a movie, and I'll force you to eat Pizza Hut.
Here, have this Pizza Hut.
Let's watch this movie while we eat a pizza.
Air to the Ground Sports, E2G Sports here with you live. NFL Cutdown Day. Getting you ready for 4 o'clock, and the fax machine's being stuck and things lingering a little later. And another Mac Wilson will do his best to let up Josh Allen. He's a hitter. Yep, fast and a hitter.
Sounds good to me.
He'll do his best, but will he succeed?
Yeah. Josh Allen's kind of, I hate to be the one to tell people he's good. There's too many Patriot fans trying to deny it. He's pretty good.
I mean, I'm rooting for them, honestly. I mean, those 90s Bills, I was watching some old like NFL films, and it's heartbreaking just to watch. It's like, even though as a Pats fan, you should laugh at their misery, but if the Pats can't do it, I usually like to go for the underdogs, the guys who've never won. So I'm rooting for them. I mean, I think they have a legitimate shot to take it this year. But yeah, Josh Allen is, QB1. He's up there with Mahomes, and Herbert's actually, obviously skyrocketing up there as well. So he's my MVP favorite.
Sarah, not a Bills fan. I know.
Nope. Couldn't say a nice thing about him. If you paid me. I mean, if you paid me a lot, I could try, but it would be very surface level. Like Josh Allen's not ugly. Like that's my compliment. Yeah. Okay. That would be as deep as I could go.
You paid me a lot of money. I'll buy a Bills jersey and Josh Allen, and I'll wear it all year.
Well,
what teams are you looking to see cuts from? When I posed this, the Bills were one of the teams I want to see because they're so deep, and I want to see how they only keep 53 guys.
Yeah.
And Shakir got cut earlier, the wide receiver who's had a really good camp.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, he got cut. And the other team is, I wanted to see how the Bucs go about the receiver, and they cut Tyler Johnson, and Julio Jones is cooked.
It's for that ring chase. They have him there for the ring chase. It's like the LaShawn McCoy thing. You have him there, but does he really do much? I think it's.
Well, because what has he done since he left the Falcons? That's the craziest part. Is he wanted out of Atlanta. And then he's done nothing since then. He's been injured and done nothing. And it's like he was such a big name. It was shocking that they were going to trade him or whatever they did. I can't remember if they traded it or cut him. But I remember it being shocking, and people wanted him on the Patriots so bad, and they still were wanting him even before he signed with the Bucs. And I was like, but what has he shown you? Another one. What did he do in Tennessee? Did he even play?
Seriously,
I don't remember it.
I think he did have a touchdown. It was a big moment. We'll go through the archives. We'll contact the archives department and all watch that on opening day.
Number 2, it just looked weird.
Yeah. It was all discombobulated, in the words of Mike Tyson. It just didn't look right. And here we are with Bills. What can go wrong will go wrong.
That's the Browns motto.
Yeah, the Browns are on that list too. Yeah, my age is showing with these two teams. I remember those 89 and 90s and the Browns losing against Denver in 3 AFC championship games in 4 years. Like John Elway just owned them. And then the Bills took over and lost 4 Super Bowls. Lake Erie was football central for a little while. If you were on Lake Erie, you were going to be playing in some big games.
I lived in Erie, PA, Pennsylvania for 4 years from 2002 2006. And it was a ton of Bills fans, a ton of Steeler fans, and a ton of Browns fans because the town is like in between all three like cities.
Yep.
So you get a mixture of all kinds of fans, and it's ridiculous. They go crazy.
We were driving home from Cleveland, road trip in 2010, and we got off in Erie and went to Golden Corral. We were like so happy we finally found a Golden Corral. And the sign on the business was this was a weird combination. We have chocolate and fireworks. And
I mean, okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Seems like a good combo.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Is it like, do they put it together like Taco Bell? Like,
yeah.
You get two of these and like.
Is it like fireworks made of chocolate?
Oh.
I mean, I'd want to see that.
Yeah, the explosion.
Yeah.
So E2G Sports here, Cutdown Day. Anything new coming across? Because I'm
looking. I'm not seeing.
I haven't seen anything.
Did you hear what the trade was for Trayvon Mullen?
I just got out of that page. Let me go back.
Mullen and a 7th for a 6th. What did he do to Josh McDaniels? What did he do?
He barely even got on the field till late in training camp, so he couldn't have done that much yet, unless he just legit like crapped the bed.
That's like nothing. You're taking on salary, and I don't even know what his salary was, but yeah, it's a trade yesterday too. What did you think of LaVisca Chenault going to Carolina, MJ, and then I'll go to Sarah? What's the situation in Carolina with their offense?
I think it's a good deal it's good depth piece. I mean, they have Marshall, they have Anderson, they have Moore. It's he kind of ran his course. He had like maybe a couple moments in Jacksonville, never really caught on. It's kind of like those late round 2020 wide receivers. Like you're seeing that with Denzel Mims now. You see him with Jalen Reagor late round and the first round. It's kind of these teams are kind of giving up very early on these guys, and LaVisca Chenault is one of them. And it looks as though Robert Saleh said something with Denzel Mims, but he'll stay. But I'm not sure what's going on with the offense. Obviously, Baker Mayfield's show. I think he may do a better job than Sam Darnold did last year. But will it be that much better? Still think it's yet. I think I'm not really sure what that team is in general, not just the offense. I'm just not sure, like, who are they? Like, they have a lot of, like, individual good players, like, here and there, but will they mesh at all? I'm not sure. But, I think it's a good deal for Carolina, see what they, if he has anything in the tank for them. And, you didn't really give up that much. And then for Jacksonville, you have some pieces on offense to kind of make Trevor Lawrence better, and he just Chenault never caught on.
So they gave away Chenault and C.J. Henderson. They're two of their top picks in that draft ended up in Carolina anyway.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So they're collecting other teams' high picks. You get Baker, you get Darnold, you get, this group. They're just like collecting first-round picks. You're right.
They make them, we take them. That's the whole Yankee motto. They make them, we take them.
Sarah, a few weeks ago, we talked about Carolina on the way. Do you think Matt Rule is just probably the most desperate coach in the league right now?
Yeah. I think it's kind of just a combination. Like they're a hot mess in general. And that's the thing for Chenault too. He went from one hot mess of a team to another hot mess of a team. So it's kind of like a lateral move, really. But I think that he needed a change of scenery. I mean, he can be good. We just haven't been able to see that much from him. But I mean, the Panthers, I don't know if that's necessarily like really going to be the best place for him. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I would want to go from catching passes from Trevor Lawrence to Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold, but I mean, it wasn't his choice. I'm sure it wouldn't have been his first choice either.
D. Williams, no one hit Allen last year. They watched him run by. Wilson will smack him. Wilson was the hardest hitter at Bama. And yeah, we all know he is good. Yeah. No,
I want to see him smack him. That would be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
I'm
cool.
rooting for that. I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I mean,
I know. I don't want to be
That's-
reminded yet. I don't want to
Yeah.
see it yet.
that game that's a few months away. I rather let's worry about Miami.
Yeah.
See if we can
Yeah, we
stop
don't have to worry about them till December 1st. That's a
Is that
good
the
amount
first
of
time they play?
Yeah, Thursday night,
Thursday night.
December 1st. And
Oh,
then they play
wow.
the last game of the year in Buffalo.
I forgot
Love-
they play on Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, so they got that back-to-back Thursday that the NFL likes to try to do with at least one team.
It's usually the Cowboys. Usually the Cowboys get that second Thursday game after Thanksgiving, but I guess it's going to be us.
Did you see they cut both their quarterbacks today? Well,
Mhm.
Cooper Rush and Will Greer. How much has he fallen?
And Ben, they only have one quarterback, Dak. They cut Ben DiNucci too.
Yeah.
Did they cut Ben DiNucci?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, that's a bold strategy there.
We're going to have David Hurlbutch joining us at 4. He's a Dallas fan. He's a talk show host in Denver.
Okay.
He'll definitely have some good feed on this when he joins us. I didn't realize DiNucci got cut too.
I think it was yesterday.
What are they doing? What are they doing? And Sony Michel, thoughts? Do you think he catches on somewhere, or is this close to the end and he's done with 4 years and 2 rings?
I think he catches on somewhere. Just like he did with the Rams last year. I mean, they're not going to expect him to be a feature back, but I think he'll catch on like just a backup, contribute here and there. Hopefully, I mean, I know people are going to be asking, is he going to come back to New England? Whenever the former Patriot gets cut, it's always a question.
Mhm.
I hope he doesn't come back. I mean, his skill set is we have already too much of that, I feel.
Yeah. I would assume he'll get picked up somewhere, but I mean, I don't know that it's going to happen right away. I just can't imagine that he would be floating around in free agency for too long. It's not like he's incapable, but he's not going to be a starter level. Yeah. You know what's crazy? There's the other one that's still flying around who didn't play last year, and I keep forgetting his name.
Where did he play?
He played on the Rams.
Cam Akers?
No, he didn't play last year.
Oh.
Why do I always
running
forget?
back?
Yeah, he was a running back, and he was a big name, and I don't know why I always forget his name.
Not Todd Gurley.
Yes.
Oh, oh my God, he's way in the oven cooked.
It's just so crazy to me to see how far he fell. I mean, it was like one season he was like the top guy, and the next it was like he's out of the league and no one's even showing interest. I'm like, what? Yeah. Did he fall off the face of the earth? Like, where is he?
No, he did not. He was actually playing with the kids over here in the yard. He got picked 3rd overall. But the girl next door has a really good arm. She's 5. I mean,
well, I mean that explains it. I was wondering.
Throw. He won so many fantasy football leagues for like 2 or 3 straight years. Todd Gurley, like, that guy was a stud.
But no, he went 3rd overall in that draft. It was fun watching the kids pick. They made him wait a few minutes. Is Matt Rule going to get fired? You can count on it. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know that he will in this season, but just based off of the apparent love affair that the ownership has with him. So I don't know that it would happen. But I mean, if you wanted to like dream of your ideal coach for your NFL team and the attitude that he has, I'm going to assume Matt Rule is at the bottom of that list because he's just so very like la-di-da, like nonchalant, like doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body. Like there's just nothing there that screams head coach. And it's like, I can't imagine that it's a fun place to play either. I mean, other than the fact that you get away with basically anything, but I mean, that's not winning you football games. So
Yeah,
Brian
he doesn't really have a personality, Matt Rule. Like I don't really see anything there. It's just kind of
He's not memorable in one way.
Yeah.
In one way or the other. If anything, you kind of forget he exists because it's like, yeah, he's there. He's a
like
body.
Who's that coach in Carolina? He's one of those
Yeah.
guys. Like you're snapping. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
was good in college, but outside of that,
Wow.
I'll go with these thoughts in a row from Chris Godwin and Raw 94. Sonia's done.
Okay.
That's kind of the consensus, and knee injuries take a toll on your career as running back, and that's where I go back to the Buddy Andrade tread theory. You use a lot of tread in college, your career is going to be shorter. You're here for one contract, and that's why Dameon Pierce, Barry Horowitz won the starting job today. RB1 in Houston. Plenty of tread on his tires, not a lot of carries. He is a guy who should be moving up your fantasy boards, and that's your help for the day. Anything else coming through? I see that Brian Robinson is in the Commanders' headquarters. He went back to work.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good for him. Good for him.
I thought it was crazy though that like we were just hearing about the whole incident with him and reporters were like, is there any timetable? I'm like, this guy just got shot. Like, why are you asking? Like, so how long is he going to be out? I don't know. He got shot multiple times, once in the leg. Like, I think we need to kind of chill on asking when he's going to be back. Just like be happy that he's alive, you know? Like,
I had a fantasy football draft Sunday and someone had just taken Brian Robinson, and 3 rounds later, that's when we found out. Yeah. And he was like panicking. He was like, I think Antonio Gibson's the one that did it. I was like, all right.
That's what people were saying too. And then I saw someone tweet about JJ Taylor getting released. I guess somebody in their fantasy league drafted him thinking it was Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, can you imagine? Oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys don't have to scroll very far when you're looking for Jonathan Taylor. You know he's at the top of the list.
He's literally at the top.
Like you scrolled way too far looking for that man if you took JJ, but
how did I get this guy in the 9th round? This is unbelievable.
Steal, man. Sleeper pick here.
Do they include his practice time yards?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I had not heard that one. That is awesome. That is as good as it gets. Stark wants to say hi to everybody.
Hi.
He took his nap early today.
Oh.
So he's all hype right now. Ear to the Ground Sports, E2G Sports Live, the NFL Cutdown Show. Sarah, MJ, at E2G Founder. Comments, we've got them rolling in. We'll answer whatever. We're about 22 minutes away from what should be the end, and we're monitoring social media and TV channels. I don't know why NFL Network went to a Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles rerun of a game rather than being live covering this. That may be one of the worst programming decisions ever.
And from what year? Last year?
For the one from the other night, Miami won 500-2.
Oh, it's even worse that it's a preseason game. Who cares?
Yeah. So for whatever reason, that was their plan for today. Thanks, buddy. We can't be knocking everything over. I remember when Terrence Keel of the Chargers got shot at a mall in 2003. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember that, but I was a youngin, so I don't remember that.
And what do we got here?
Is it a cat? A dog? Oh, it's a dog. I think it's a dog emoji.
Oh, he likes my Stark is a good boy.
Yes.
We call him two treats.
He was talking to me
treats,
once.
He loves you forever.
We were gossiping.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does. He's got more ladies than anybody I know. He's unbelievable. People stop by to feed him, make him cakes. He's got a girl at Dunkin' Donuts at the drive-thru. She gives him a croissant. And if I DoorDash and she notices it's she may send some. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Needless to say, he's the player amongst players, to say the least. Anything interesting coming across?
All I see is the Patriots have 13 more cuts. That's all I saw.
Bill Murray has been cut. I just saw that's from Doug Kide coming through now.
Who?
Bill Murray, he moved from defensive line over to guard. So shriveling down the offensive line. Denver cut a guy today by the name of Nathan Moody, who I liked. He went to Fresno State. He's an interior lineman. He can play 3 spots. I always thought he'd be a fit here, but we got to see what the new offense, if that's the case, what the needs are now compared to what they used to be.
They changed. They moved Bill Murray to guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember any of his plays in preseason. I don't remember anything he did.
He has some good movies.
I don't remember anything about him other than people obsessing over his mustache. Yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah, but Dalton Keene took that prize.
Yeah, and that's another. Wait, did he had interest from the Niners? Didn't they say that? I think I saw that yesterday. Which I
can't imagine why.
I know. Visit somewhere. I forgot.
Who does he have? I don't know. Who does he kind of play like? Who I talk about all the time.
I don't know. Can you imagine if they had 2 of them on their team? I'd be so mad.
Oh, Juszczyk?
Yeah, I love him.
Kind of when he came out of college, that was his best comp.
Mm-hmm.
He was not really a tight end. He's more of doing a lot of different things.
A fullback.
Yeah.
Kyle Juszczyk seemed like a perfect Patriot. I remember when he was a free agent like a couple of years ago. I thought he was like on his way to New England, and then they just re-signed him. 49ers did.
I feel like there's a lot of that. Like, oh my gosh, what I am happy about, which I'm hoping will stop this year because he's not on the team anymore, is the Patriots could have had Deebo Samuel or AJ Brown instead of N'Keal Harry. I'm like, can we? I don't want to hear it because N'Keal's not on the team anymore. But I feel like if the Patriots play them ever again in the next like 10 years, that's all we're gonna hear.
Yeah.
And I'm not excited about it.
I hope he's healthy for the game here. That'll be
And he goes off. He goes like
he goes off 3 catches, 18 yards.
Oh geez.
That's progress.
E2G Sports cutting down day. As you can see, our little pink slip is a background. Did you guys even notice that?
I did, and at first I thought it was for me, and I got nervous.
No.
I was like,
I didn't even say what it said. I just saw pink. I'm like, all right, interesting color choice, but okay, I'll run with it.
Yeah, it's like a pink slip, like you're fired.
Yeah, you got to see what it says on it.
Can you imagine if like people still did that? That's like how they fired you.
Yeah.
I know it happened to Ricky Vaughn. So.
Oh my gosh, Brian Robinson went to the building with a thing of Oreos. He walked in the building on his crutches with a big old package of Oreos.
Good for him. He's on the Leonard Fournette plan.
He's like, all right, I don't have to be in shape. I'm in crutches right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are sleeping on Parker. I like Parker because he came to us.
Before he came to us.
Before he came.
Yeah,
I gotta learn how to read.
I'm assuming he means Devontae Parker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him too, and I think that he can do well. I just was like, I felt like we kind of stopped hearing about him as much. Like at the beginning of camp, it was like every day. It was like Parker makes outstanding catch. He does this. He does that. It was great. And then like the last week and a half or so, it was like you heard nothing. So yeah, I'm hoping that's not like indicative of how he's been playing, and it was just the way that the cards fell. But I'm excited. I think he can do well, and I like too that he wanted to be on the Patriots. Yeah. So I like that.
MJ, your thoughts on Parker?
I like Parker. I mean, obviously going into the offseason, we thought there was a lot of talk about wide receivers, guys like Allen Robinson. Obviously, they came at a higher price. So, Parker's a decent wide receiver. If, he's had some injuries in this past, so never really could, sustain a long. Hopefully, he can, stay healthy. And I think he can be big for Mac Jones and the rest of that offense. I like him.
Big outside body. Probably puts Aguilar in a better position as we get closer. 15 minutes. See if there's anything more announced.
I saw that Kenyon Drake is supposed to sign with the Ravens.
Yep.
Poor Kenyon Drake. What a fall from grace as well. But I mean, is he just on the Raiders? Is that where he was just
The
from?
Raiders, yeah.
Because he was also, and then he was on the Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah.
But the Cardinals revamped James Conner after he's another one that was like, wow, he was doing great. Then he did nothing. And then he's on the Cardinals and he's like the only scorer. And it's like, oh, okay. I only noticed because he kept beating me in fantasy. So,
James
and I watch a
Conner.
lot of Cardinals games living in Arizona. So
I
there's
will
that.
hand this off to you guys for a few minutes because I got to run somewhere.
Okay.
I'm talking maybe 4 minutes. I'll be.
You better
okay.
I'll be
run.
back. Okay.
Run. No, I'm just kidding.
Now,
Look at me. Does it look like I'm running?
I mean, I don't run either, if we're being honest. Okay, so the new Patriots news.
mhm.
Patriots are waiving Trey Nixon.
Okay, I think that's a good. I mean, not a good move, but I think he's probably going to be back on the practice squad. I just feel
That's what Kide is saying. I'm not surprised about it given the depth at their position at the wide receiver position.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it before. I just dropped something. I was playing with something. Anyway, Nixon was like a big deal in the spring, but then once training camp came around, again, he was another name that you weren't really hearing about. So I'm not really surprised. Like he had that connection with Zappy apparently, but obviously Zappy's not the quarterback going forward. So if that's what's happening and he's not really doing anything in camp, then this isn't surprising to me at all.
Yeah, and I thought it was either between, obviously, with Tyquan Thornton being out for some time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I mean, they're going to, it looks like little Jordan Humphrey is going to make it, and they may use him in those, if they run some 3 tight end sets because he's more of a bigger body. But that gives them options that if they need him in the wideout position, he can do that in the meantime until Tyquan Thornton is healthy. And they may still keep Christian Wilkerson. So they may have, to answer this, how many wide receivers do you think will be on the 53? I think they'll probably have like 6 to start.
That's what I've been seeing a lot in the projections. I haven't done a projection, so I couldn't tell you, but the ones that I've read, it's always been a 6. And that would be with Humphrey as a receiver, or Humphrey, and some of them have been there as a tight end. So I don't care where he is. I just hope that he's on the team because I've really liked what we've seen from him. So
I think he's done enough to earn a spot in the job.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. So so nothing there. The Jets just released, is it Chuma Edoga? Offensive lineman. They tried to trade him. So they are releasing him.
Is it offense? Is it an offensive lineman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I heard something that the Cowboys were looking to make a deal. And they couldn't.
Apparently it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is now he can, choose where he wants to go because it wasn't a waive. So
yeah.
Okay.
How many wide receivers do you think will be on the 53?
Oh yeah, we were just talking about this when we said we think like 6. That was our guess.
Does that count Slater?
They just waived Trey Nixon. So
yeah.
I actually, does it include Slater? I don't remember.
They never in the projections. They always put like the actual wide receivers who are going to be on passing downs.
Yeah.
And then they put like specialists, which is like the Cody Davises, the Slaters, the Cardonas of the world.
Yeah. So that's what I was guessing. We were saying that I was saying about I want Humphrey on the team. No matter how he gets on the team, I want him on the team.
Yeah, things are looking good for him right now. If Nixon's gone too.
Yeah.
And what becomes of Wilkerson, as you guys had said, he's on and then off with, a head injury.
I know, and then the Panthers released the guy that did it to him.
Yeah, Kenny Robinson got released today. Back to the XFL for him.
I didn't know anything about him, but apparently he was a troublemaker at joint practices.
Yeah.
That was an interesting joint practices. I wish I was in attendance.
I know. And then the lady too that they fell on, like Wise fell on, and then I mean she seemed fine, but then they were like, "Do you want tickets to a game?" And imagine her being like, yeah.
Where am I? Who are you?
I just had a large man fall on me, and I was just gonna tell everyone about it because it was cool. But sure, that would be me.
I want tickets, and I also want to call some plays on one of these games.
Yeah, Can I also get a tour of the facility and meet the entire team? Thank you.
Can I get my own Super Bowl ring?
Yeah, that would make me feel better from the injuries I sustained today.
If she walks off, fine.
Yeah.
Goes to
Mhm.
concessions. She's perfectly fine.
That would be me. I'd just be like, "Oh, I'm so injured. Oh gosh.
Start limping, like like you
Yeah,
can't,
I need help."
yeah.
So they're starting to come in fast and furious. Not as much the Patriots.
Yeah,
Um,
which we expected because they're slower.
yeah, the Steelers are trading offensive lineman Jesse Davis to the Vikings. That Steelers offensive line the other day was absolutely atrocious if you watch that game.
Mm.
They're going to get called for a lot of holding penalties this year. It really is.
And they tend to be like, depending on the year, some like their defense or their line, like they can be very undisciplined. Like that's how they can come off, which is like kind of surprising just because of Tomlin, but it's like the like we were talking about the Panthers, that's how they look, but that's different because it's that one guy that coaches them. I don't know,
That guy.
That dude. That
That guy.
Yeah.
Nixon didn't look great in preseason games. Not surprised from D. Williams.
Yeah.
D22.
He only like really made any sort of impacts when it was no, the Patriots released little Jordan Humphrey.
Did they really?
No.
I wonder if he's like they've already secured him underneath the cinema.
He's going to watch a movie. He's watching Thor right now. He's just staying there for a little bit.
They think that's from Andrew Callahan, who works at the Boston Herald. He says that he could re-sign to the practice squad. Well, duh, but I'm just like, I want to know that
Everyone
he
could.
is. No.
It's kind of
I'm so
heartbreaking.
bummed, man.
It's like a sad moment.
That is a sad moment. He was he was the player I was willing to die on a hill for.
Well, it isn't Thursday yet. Give it to Thursday, and then you can
Well, they
come off
released
the
him
hill.
so he doesn't have to clear waivers. So
Yeah, everyone could be on the practice squad. So it's like, yeah, look. Like, I've seen that with a lot of tweets. I'm like, this guy, they're looking to have him back on the practice squad. I'm like, all right.
it's like
Yeah.
all of them. Every
Well,
single
yeah.
guy that they released today is going to be back on the practice squad. They're going to have a practice squad of 30.
Yeah. It's like, that's against the rules, Bill. So,
Yeah.
What?
like, he'll just snarl at you like he always does.
That guy isn't practicing. He's mowing the lawn. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah, they'll make him do stuff so it looks like he's not really
Yeah.
dressed up as a ground screw.
You got 40 security guards for a practice? So weird.
Yeah, everything's too safe.
Why are they dressed in their uniforms? That's not their uniform.
They're incognito.
They're
E2G
undercover.
Sports here with you. NFL Cutdown Day. We're down to our last 8 minutes before. I don't know if a tweet has come out to say exactly where we are with the numbers.
Well, Sarah said it was 13. Now it's 12 with Will Jordan.
And Trey Nixon included.
Oh, so
Yeah, I
probably
don't-
11.
I'll have to see if it was Mark Daniels, I think, that had said it.
Oh, God.
Let's see.
Field Yates is a comedian. Just so everybody knows, Justin Herbert did make the Chargers lineup.
Oh, I know. I can't wait until they tweet out that
Tom Brady.
Mac Jones made the team. Like I had people, I sent out a tweet and I was like, what players on the bubble do you hope the Patriots sign? And then I really had people saying Mac Jones. And I was like, I didn't address any of them because I was like, you're just being annoying. But I did say to one person, I was like, he's not on the bubble. And he was like, LOL, I was just making a joke. And I was like, okay, well, all of you are making the same joke and it's not funny. Okay. It's not funny.
Wasn't even
They used to
funny.
do that like they used to tweet out every year when Brady was here saying like, so 6th round draft pick Tom Brady was on the bubble, made the team. I'm like, oh my
LOL,
God.
it's been so funny for 20 years.
Yeah.
It gets funnier every time.
So,
Hey,
Bengals had 8 active wide receivers.
they should have made their cornerbacks active too.
8 active wide receivers.
Did they really? I don't know about that.
Yeah, but that's the end of the season. This is the beginning. Like by
They
the
should
end,
let everyone play at the end of the season. They shouldn't be like inactive or active play. They should it's a free for all. Whoever's there and able to play, just let them play. It's like the end of the NFL, MLB season. All the AAA guys go to the big league team and just do it like that. Practice squads are eligible. Everyone's eligible to play.
That sounds like a good idea. Week 17 is just a freaking free for all.
And if you make the Super Bowl, you have that opportunity.
Yeah, just dress everybody. That's a pretty damn good idea. I like that. We're gonna
Roger, give me a call.
let's call Raj. See if he's picking up the phone right
I
now.
want to talk to that guy.
Oh, come on.
I'll talk to someone else. He doesn't really make the decisions.
I'll talk to Brian McCarthy. E2G Sports, down to the last 5 minutes before cutdowns. We're watching all the funny jokes, like Justin Herbert made the team. That's really good. Congratulations.
Oh my god, that's so funny that it makes me slap my knee. It's so funny.
It's a knee slapper. I tell him
Yeah.
it's a knee slapper. I think I'm going to use it
Hilarious.
later.
I'm gonna tell everyone today.
Might have to tweet that out myself.
Yeah.
Please don't.
So, Sarah, what's the vibe like for the Cardinals in Arizona? Are people excited?
I don't know. You know what's funny is, I mean, I don't leave my house a lot, so I can't tell you when I'm interacting with Cardinals fans. But I feel the last few years, I mean, they're pretty diehard. And they seem fine with Kyler. They seemed excited, despite the drama of the wording of his contract. Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of his contract, I don't know if you guys saw this tweet, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was like a Call of Duty Twitter. But around the news of his contract, they pointed out that through his however many, the seasons that he's been with the Cardinals, every weekend or that he played on a Sunday, obviously, that he did not perform well was like a double XP weekend in Call of Duty. And they were alluding to it wasn't a coincidence. And I was like, it seems a little odd to me.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny because then, of course, people were freaking out and they were like, "What are you saying?" And it's like, well, what are you not saying? Maybe he was up too late playing Call of Duty for extra points. I don't know.
They had to and then they had to take it off because it was like a bad look for him.
Yeah, well,
maybe if you would have
I understand that it was like they shouldn't have released that part, maybe.
Yeah.
But then they're like, it wasn't anything about our belief in him. I'm like, but you put it in a formal contract.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it did have something to do with what you've seen from him. But take it off. I mean, it's not going to change how you. Yeah. But, I mean, everyone was just reacting to the wording that you put in the contract and that you signed, Kyler. I mean, you signed it. You were supposed to have read it. So I don't know. But I mean, there's so many different fans in Arizona, so it's kind of hard to gauge exactly how Cardinals fans are, because if you go anywhere here, I used to work at a mall here, and I swear I almost never saw Cardinals stuff. It was always Cowboys, Ravens, every other random team but the Cardinals. That was 10 years ago, but still.
I lived in Arizona for 4 to 5 months, 3 years ago, from 2019 to 2020, and that was during the Cardinals, oh
yeah,
they were Kyler Murray was on, and everything was and then we had a Super Bowl party, and everyone was wearing Cardinal jerseys. I'm the only one, me and my buddy's also from here. He lives out there now, but he was we're the only ones in Pats jerseys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and we went to a game in 2016. I think it was the one where Jimmy was starting for Brady.
Yeah.
And the Patriots fans they overtook the stadium. You would have thought that it was almost at Gillette because it was so loud. And I mean, I was getting high fives left and right, as I was leaving, because the Patriots won. And I was just like, this is strange, because other times I've gone to away games, I was harassed by drunk people. So I'm like, yeah, it was very strange.
All right, we got another guest with us from Mile High Sports in Denver, and a pretty big Dallas Cowboys fan. David Hurlbut joins the group. David,
how you doing, friends?
How we do? MJ, Sarah, buddy,
nice
got your
to meet
Mets
you.
hat on.
It's the highlight of my teams. I root for the Cowboys, the Knicks, and the Mets. At least the Mets are making an effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, tell us about cutting both Cooper Rush, cutting all the quarterbacks pretty much. What's the situation?
Yeah, I think, as you guys know, it's just kind of a game of hide and seek. Cooper Rush, doesn't have to go on waivers. The vested vet Greer goes on waivers, and you know how this goes. I'll hide a player here, hide a player there, sign you in. We'll sign you in 3 hours. Don't worry, you're our guy. So I believe Cooper Rush, barring some calamity from the Joneses again, I believe Cooper Rush will be the backup quarterback for Dallas.
Oh, on the Denver side of things, anything we haven't heard a lot about their cuts. They did make one trade. Malik Reed got traded to the Steelers.
Yeah,
Was there any thought? I think you were on the air at that time.
I probably was. I love the kid. I was hoping he, be traded to Dallas. Heaven forbid Dallas could make a nice move. And since the Dallas defense was going to have to carry the load here for a while until the wide receivers get healthy, I was hoping Dallas would build on its philosophy of other years, build on your strength. So I wanted to see DeMarcus Lawrence, Malik Reed, the Velociraptor, Micah Parsons, and everybody, Jason quarterbacks. He couldn't have landed in a better spot, though. If you're a linebacker, you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, smart move by George Payton. Again, he gets something in return. A couple surprises here. Let me just look at my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. Sam Martin waived, the punter. So they're going with the lefty kid. You guys know something about lefty punters in there in New England, don't you?
Yes. Yes, it spins differently.
It sure does. Everything, the trajectory, everything. So they're going with the big leg kid with 5-second hang time in preseason. Sam Martin's gone. I thought he'd be with Buffalo by now. We'll see when that happens. But he'll be a nice punter wherever he lands. We mentioned Malik Reed. Just scrolling down here, my notes, which are an absolute mess as always. Johnson gone. Josh Johnson gone. So Brett Rippon is the backup. Brett Rippon is your backup to Russell Wilson, the carrying 2 quarterbacks. So that was a bit of surprise to some, but I don't know if you remember, buddy, I called that one. So even the broken clock is right twice a day. So Brett Rippon is the backup to Russell Wilson. Big offensive lineman, Moody, is gone. A lot of people thought he'd be one of the 9 or 10 offensive linemen. He's gone. He just may not be athletic enough to kind of do the zone blocking, which they're doing here. He's just a monster. So, again, I don't think he'll be unemployed for long. Kendall Hinton is gone. For those of you who don't remember Kendall Hinton, he was the guy who started as quadruple emergency quarterback against the New Orleans Saints a couple years ago. So Hinton, the COVID room out here, led by Drew Lock. Hinton's gone. He was a fan favorite for that game. His jersey is actually in Canton, but in a very, very crowded wide receiver room. Here are the wide receivers now for the Broncos. Of course, you got Judy, KJ Hamler, and Cortland Sutton as the starters. Oh, did you hear me? I almost went Boston there. Starters. When in Rome. Antrell Washington makes it also as a kickoff and punt returner. Nice player. Jalen Virgil makes it. I really hoped he was going to be waived because I wanted Dallas to pick him up. 6'1", 210, can fly. Had a really nice preseason. And Tyree Cleveland makes it as well because he is a beast on special teams. So Seth Williams gone and Kendall Hinton gone. Yeah, Seth Williams gone, buddy.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh. Very interesting. As we hit 4:00, so we'll be going through. We got David Hurlbut, MJ, Sarah. I don't know when you have to run, but
let's have some fun. Go ahead.
Let's go. Let's tear it up as these cuts come through. Jesse Davis again traded. And I'm just wondering if we're just going to hear a lot of the if it's going to be a quick or a slow, because of social media these days. I mean, you'd have to read the next day in the paper, David, for people our age.
Yes.
We got to tell these guys that, they actually look at the paper the next day.
I would have to look in the paper on Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings to tally my fantasy scores, kids. Yeah. Remember that, buddy?
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Yep. You didn't know if you won till like Wednesday.
Yeah.
If you
yeah. I'm old enough where I'm like, I remember having to go on the computer, the actual desktop, to actually look them up because I didn't have like the smartphones running around. So I'd have to actually go on the computer and look it up to see what my score is, and then have to leave and walk back to the.
You poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah. Is there any more cuts come across?
Nope. They're still at the Patriots are at 63, so there's still 10 more, but nothing coming through right now that I can see.
Oh boy!
It appears that Jalen Reagor is going to stay with the Eagles.
Oh, they must be pumped in Philadelphia.
They could be good.
They just got Gardner Johnson from the Saints earlier, so they have a sneaky good chance to be a contender this year.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
very nervous about them. If Jalen Hurts puts together any kind of competent season, it could be the Eagles to lose. No,
Mhm.
Buddy knows me. I'm at wit's end with Dallas. I'm wit's end. No planning for wide
Aren't we all?
receiver. No planning for offensive line with injuries. It's disgraceful.
I was a Cowboy fan at 5 years old for like 2 seconds because I saw the movie Little Giants and I liked the star on the helmet. So my mom got me a starter jacket and like
Yeah.
a beach towel. And I watched like the first game, and then I went back to being a Pats fan.
Smart man. Smart man.
It was the year they won their third Super Bowl in 4 years. That was the Barry Switzer led team. That was the Arizona
Larry Brown, MVP.
Brown, yeah.
He fleeced the Raiders just like everybody did. Fleeced the Raiders with a free agent contract. Oh, you a Super Bowl MVP? Okay, Desmond Howard, we're going to pay you $14 million a year to be a wide receiver when he can't run routes.
Come on in. Bring a friend.
Bring a friend.
By the way, this is not my home, my background. I wish it was.
Look, this guy's got it made, man. Look at this guy.
I'm the Colin Cowherd of Denver. No, I'm just having some fun here. One day.
The nice piano and nice cozy
play?
couch.
Yeah. Play a little Mozart when I'm done.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I had a piano comment ready. Like I was trying to find the perfect time to just move it in there, and your couch is there for like 47 people on a Sunday.
So the game's at your house? Watching the game at his house. He has a bigger TV.
Amen. Amen. What else you got, buddy? What other news? Any thoughts, questions?
All right, yeah, the Gardner Johnson last night. Any of the receivers at all interest you who might be available so far for Dallas? Mims had a good game the other day for the Jets, but he kind of limped off the field too.
Yeah. I'm interested in that for a late round pick, like you said. You know, Jerry comes out today in typical Jerry fashion. He says, if the Super Bowl was being played on September 11th, Michael Gallup would be ready. So can any of you guys interpret that for me? I mean, what does that mean? Is he ready?
Yeah.
Or...
If he has to play, he'll play. I guess he'll play Hurts if it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jerry Jones just needs to like take a seat and just like calm down. He talks too much.
He does. Gordon's done, right? Josh Gordon's done.
He got cut, yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone grab him?
I don't know.
He's in one of the best positions that he could be in the last few years for a team to pick him up. I mean, he's been fine. It's just he went to a bad team. I mean, I don't mean bad team. I mean bad team for him to be on. Like they were set in Kansas City, so he wasn't going to get a lot of opportunities. So I always have a soft spot for him to come back to the Patriots. I know that's not going to happen, but I would like him to go somewhere. He's still talented and he's been on the right path. So any wide receiver needy team should look at him at least.
Yeah, we should, but we won't. I mean, sign him for some kind of minimum. But do you think
Cowboys can use him?
Can he still be productive, guys? He's 31.
I mean,
he could probably have yeah.
I think he could. I mean, it's hard because like the last he was on the Chiefs for 2 years. I mean, we didn't see like anything from him. He got the ball like very few times. So yeah, Chris Goodwin in the chat saying Josh Gordon is done. I cannot see anyone picking him up.
Okay.
I think he'll catch on somewhere, like maybe even on a practice squad to start and see what happens there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he should have fresher legs because he hasn't really been out there so much time. So I mean, he should be good to go.
How about OJ Howard? Sorry, buddy, I'm taking over here with questions. I'm just curious.
No, go for it. No, I'm trying to monitor around like these guys. Pick it up. I love it. Go.
OJ Howard.
Yeah, he was released earlier.
The Bills want to bring him back. They ate $3 million for that.
They want to bring him back?
Yeah, they're going to bring him back for the practice squad, is what they said.
Oh.
OJ Howard on a practice squad, huh?
Yeah, that seems weird. I know they like Dawson Knox, but
and I think Sweeney made it. the kid from BC is the backup.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess if he wants to stay in Buffalo, it might be like he thinks that they have the best opportunity for him to win. But I mean, he's definitely, I would assume, a starter. So being on the practice squad seems odd for him to do. But
Yeah, that's why I think if all his options are, there's no options out there, then he'll do that. But I think a tight end needy team that doesn't really have much depth there.
yeah.
Like I look at a team like the Saints. I mean, they could use him to be their starting tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mean there's opportunities everywhere. So. But
What
like
do
you
the
said,
Bucks look like at tight end?
Kyle Rudolph and Cameron Brate.
Oh,
And Kate
okay.
Otten from University of Washington.
All right. I was gonna say maybe there's a reunion there, but never mind.
Yeah.
We know who's going to end up back there. It's like,
I know we don't want to talk about it because
Rules?
there's that retired Patriot that's like making it seem like he wants to go there too, and I don't appreciate it.
I heard he
Matt
still has this
Mulligan?
opportunity. Comes back and plays for the Patriots still. I saw that report.
That would be nice.
I can't even imagine that one. That would be definitely interesting. Your thoughts on the running back situation in Dallas, David? What do you think the splitting carries is?
Okay, what do I think Jerry will push them to do? Or I'll answer both. What I wish. Jerry said the other day. You guys probably saw that. What's Stephen A. Smith's show again?
First Take?
No.
Yeah, First
Oh
Take.
yeah.
They were down there in Dallas at the Star, their training complex and corporate headquarters, and he was down there. And of course, he's stirring the coals. But Jerry says, it runs through Zeke. This offense runs through Zeke. It runs through Zeke. Look, he was a wonderful running back for 2 or 3 years. By the way, I think Buddy knows this. I was on record for screaming for Jalen Ramsey to be picked by Dallas that year and said they go Zeke. Jalen Ramsey goes to Jacksonville. Then he goes to the Rams, and the rest is history. So I could have Ramsey and Trayvon Diggs as my corners. God forbid. But can you guys tell I'm a little frustrated? Buddy gets this. They're going to force Zeke because they paid him $100 million for a running back already 4 or 5 years into the league. They're going to force Zeke. But Tony Pollard is a much more talented back with fewer hits. I mean, you look at all the metrics and Pro Football Focus and this and that. It's like he and Nick Chubb led every important category. He is a wonderful weapon. So it'll probably be like 70-30 Zeke, and it should be reverse. It really should be.
They, I think what Jerry is so caught up on trying to do is find the next big three, the next their Aikman, their Emmett, their Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
So it's like he has to have a number one. So whether it was when Des Bryant was on the last legs, now it's CeeDee Lamb or it was Amari Cooper, but he has to have a flashy running back there, like Emmett was, and a Pro Bowl quarterback in Dak Prescott. He doesn't see it the other way, like you said. Like that's a good point. Like Tony Pollard has become throughout the years probably a more reliable back because Zeke has taken so many cares and taken so many hits.
Yeah,
but he just wants that star power there. It's all about the ratings. I mean, how many times do we have to see Dallas on a 425 game, night games? It's
yeah. No, it must be frustrating for the rest of the league. I get it, and on Thanksgiving, and everybody wants to rotate now other than Detroit and Dallas. I get it. But, if you just let Tony Pollard do it, he would have a flashy back. The guy had like a 95-yard kickoff return last year on Thanksgiving. He's got breakaway speed. He's got good hands to catch the ball. He could be that guy. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah.
He should be like Belichick. Belichick just brings in running backs, uses them on the rookie contracts, and then says bye because he develops a new guy.
Just like a revolving door. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, once that guy's done, boom, another one.
I know. It makes sense. Yeah, it's a different game. Buddy and I are older new guys. The Emmets, the Walter Paytons, Barry Sanders, that's a different era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is.
I've been watching like some of the old America's game. Like, I'm actually on Super Bowl 27 versus 1992 Cowboys. And it's just different when you look at how much people relied on their backs. Like obviously it was a league run by, you said, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Marcus Allen, Eric Dickerson, like these guys. Like now, like you don't even see, it's very rare you see a running back drafted in the first round. It's because people are looking at it and they say, well, there's so much wear and tear. Why I'm going to expend the first round pick? I can get a guy like Damian Harrison III. He'll be, formidable for me. I don't need to waste a top 10, top 5 pick unless you look at a guy like Saquon Barkley, which was supposed to be a crazy talent. But in those cases, but not all the time, like you said with Zeke, that's a good pick with Jalen Ramsey. I would have went Jalen Ramsey rather than Zeke. As good as Zeke was, and as good as he can be, it's not really needed. It's such a different game now.
Totally.
Well, this is breaking news for the Cowboys. They have no kickers on the team.
Oh, nice.
They just cut Brett Maher. So that was just at the top of my feed.
I gotta go. I have a tryout for Cowboys kicker. I gotta run. Sorry.
Just get the ball in the air, David. Just get the ball in the air. David, we're going to get a listener question for you.
Yeah.
From Chris Goodwin, not Chris Godwin, the wide receiver for Tampa Bay.
I kept reading it like Godwin every single time I saw it. I'm like, Chris Godwin.
Me too. We may just get you a jersey, Chris, because we like you that much in your input. Do you think there is a problem with Jerry Jones that he is stuck in a different era?
Yeah, in some areas, absolutely. Like, gosh, I'm terrible with names. Like this gentleman said right above you, buddy. He's looking for his triplets again. He did it before, so he thinks he can do it again. The problem is, we all know, if you have half a football brain and watched any football, we all know that was Jimmy Johnson personnel moves. And Jimmy pushed for that trade of Herschel Walker. And he found the talent. He brought some of his guys from Miami there, like Russell Maryland. And then, Bill Parcells did some really good things for 4 years, found Jason Witten, DeMarcus Ware, Tony Romo. He has to let go and hire a real GM. I'm very jealous of the Broncos and this guy, George Payton here. The guy looks like you called up Central Casting in Hollywood and said, give me a guy who looks like a NFL executive. And then he walked out. He's stuck in the past. Now with other things, he's a maverick. I mean, if he doesn't build Jerry World, then you don't see SoFi Stadium. You don't see the new one in Atlanta. You don't see the new one in Minneapolis. He changes everything with Jerry World and the Star, the state-of-the-art training complex. I've been there. It's incredible. The locker rooms, they put their helmets up there and they're heated drive and infrared lights so they don't have bacteria. It's crazy. But he still thinks he's one of the great executives of all time. So to answer the gentleman's question, and you know what's ironic? One more thing, and I know I'm dominating the time here.
Do it.
He drafts well. They draft well. C.D. Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, Dak in the 4th round. Zeke as a running back, yes. Micah Parsons, the linemen over the years, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, obviously. Travis Frederick was great until he got that disease and then just retired. Dalton Schultz at tight end. They draft really well. Mm-hmm. And then they just think that's it. That's the end of the offseason.
Yeah, they always seem to be up against the cap too. It's because they pay these guys so much, ridiculous money. It seems as though they're never really in on any of these pricey free agents or anything.
Never.
Yeah,
never.
Because they're paying their own guys, which is a good thing. That means you're, like you said, you're drafting well. But it seems as though like they kind of like Tyron Smith is another one. Like this guy's been through injury after injury after injury. It's like it was kind of time a long time ago to kind of part ways, but they just they couldn't do it because they paid him so much money and the dead money and the cap hits they were going to take. So they just kind of ran with it. Yep. And then he got injured again. So, but they have so much talent on the roster. They just get in their own way at times.
They do. They didn't take advantage of Dak on the rookie contract. Mm-hmm. And he kept pushing that. What do you call kicking the can down the street or wherever that expression is? And then he has to overpay for Dak. I like Dak, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, do you have any more moves come across? I saw Cody Russi.
And then someone just showed Bethel had posted on Instagram like thanking the Patriots for 3 years and whatever. So they're thinking that it might not be procedural, that they might actually just be cutting him.
Wow, he's not going to be underneath the cinema waiting for his.
Apparently not.
That should be a reality show, like not Stars anymore. Remember that the one that was on VH1?
Oh, something like that. I remember
Surreal Life. Yeah.
Oh,
that
yes,
was my favorite one.
Oh yeah. This one is also, I haven't seen like a legitimate source, but people keep quoting him and they're saying that DeMarcus Mitchell has made the roster. So we'll have to see. But a lot of people are quote tweeting that guy. So I don't know who he is, but that would be exciting news for you because you love that guy.
Told you that guy's a car wreck. I love him. Defensive defensive end who covers kicks, and he's like, well, if I don't hit the guy with the ball, I'm going to hit somebody else pretty hard. So you'll remember I'm here. Just David, when your team, the Cowboy, leads the preseason in penalties, there is a problem with the team, man.
Wow. The Cowboys move the needle, don't they? One way or another.
People are going crazy about the Cowboys now. It's like they're a topic of conversation.
No, they are. They're like the Yankees, Notre Dame, the Lakers. There's no in between. You love them or hate them. They led the league in penalties last year.
Mm-hmm.
As Buddy and I have talked about on my show, they go out and draft a monster of a lineman in Tyler Smith, but who also had a penalty issues in college. And then they lead the preseason in penalties across the league in 3 games. Look, we play the Bucs week 1 at home, the Bengals week 2 at home. If the Cowboys get shellacked in both, I'm looking at 2023, get a nice pick, and get me Sean Payton on the phone. Make it happen.
I think Sean Payton. This is McCarthy's last year, and Sean Payton's going to take over next year. There's too much. There's too much. It looks just.
Yeah. There's talent there.
Mark Daniels is saying Joshua Bledsoe made the team, by the way.
Okay. Another one, right? There we go.
LeBron, right?
Hey, can I ask you guys a quick non-football question?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just wonder if you guys heard this. So, obviously, my Knicks they got RJ Barrett for a 4-year, $120 million contract. The Mets host the Dodgers tonight in a huge game, but it's kind of New York Knicks night. And apparently there's going to be a special appearance by a New York Knick, and Donovan Mitchell has taken the Utah Jazz off his bio. Have you guys heard anything maybe I haven't heard? Is Donovan Mitchell going to the Knicks?
I know he's been in discussions. Like, I know he's been in trade discussions. That's his hometown team. He's a huge Mets fan. I know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. It's just, what are you going to have to give up for him? I mean,
exactly.
You don't want to break up the team, and then it's just Donovan Mitchell, and then you're back where Carmelo Anthony was, where you're not really getting anywhere.
Agreed.
I don't see nothing on hoops rumors right now. The only thing, that Chet Holmgren thing, which I'm sick to my stomach about.
Yeah.
Because that takes me back to Robert Edwards in the sand, man.
He needs to put on some muscle, Chet Holmgren.
Oh, no, 8 hours ago. RJ Barrett's extension with the Knicks complicates a trade for Donovan Mitchell, but it doesn't close the door entirely.
Okay. All right.
They want the Jazz mostly want unprotected first-round picks in exchange for Mitchell. So you'd have to match some salary too.
Yeah. And the Knicks have a slew of picks. I mean, that's one reason they're in the discussion. Like the gentleman said, he's from right up north of the city, right up the Hudson Rivers, where Mitchell's from, right near like West Point area. All right. Thank you. Just wanted to check.
No, good. Mets Dodgers tonight. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe something I can throw on TV too tonight.
Yep.
One time I can root for New York. Woohoo.
We'll take all the help we can get. Are the Mets going to Met, or can they win that division?
That division, I think. I think the Braves got it. I think the Braves are just they're riding high right now. I think the Mets will make that as a wild card.
Yeah.
Just get in. That's those top
the Red Sox
guys.
used to do.
Just get in with those top 2 guys.
I agree.
And you have a shot. Because it's a weird champion, it feels like, every year. And no Dodgers, your 2020 championship doesn't count.
Just like the Lakers.
It was an extended preseason. You still haven't won since '88. Thank you.
The Lakers don't count either. That 2020 bubble one? Well, come on. You took like a 5-month absence.
Yeah, that helped LeBron and his legs, everything. I agree.
Then again, if the Celtics would have won, I would have said, "Oh yeah, we have."
It would have been the most legitimate of all.
It would have been.
I would have been like, yeah, we won. And they're like, no, yeah.
We won at Disney. Yes, we did.
Yes. We're all hypocrites in sports. I couldn't stand Dion until he was high stepping in Texas Stadium.
People say the Patriots are cheaters, but if like someone else was a cheater, I'd probably be right there. I'm like, you guys are cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I don't do. I don't say anything about other people's teams being cheaters, because then they just come right back at me and be like, this is ironic coming from you. And I'm like, that's why I'm not even going to get involved.
There's this website. There's a website you can go on where every single team is there, and they actually click on each team, and they actually show every instance in which each team has cheated in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, and isn't it like the Broncos
team-
actually or something? It's like the Broncos are the most cheatingest team in
Yeah,
the league.
they have like the most like. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean like sign stealing, but it could be anything. Like, I think they threw pine tar. I mean, not pine tar. Stickum in there as well. But I mean, everyone was doing that.
Lester
Yeah,
Hayes.
it's just funny because I've seen so many
Yeah.
people Patriots fans use that too. They're like, the Patriots aren't even in the top 10. Look at it's the Broncos and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this doesn't all. I mean, it's not relevant when something happened before the person you're arguing with is born. Okay, like it's not really helping your case at all.
It's like the Patriots had a run for 20 years. Like, we'll let these little people take their time. Like these Bills fans.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, yeah, you know, it's cute. It's cute to watch. It's really cute. It's adorable. We've been to 11
E2G
Super Bowls.
Sports live NFL Cutdown Day. Waiting to see if there's the last few moves or the last few trades. We'll give you a few more minutes.
It always takes some time.
Yeah, it definitely does. But at least we get out here and get some of the ones while people were at work. Help people out.
I'm still bummed about Humphrey.
I don't think he's officially like gone. He's like
I saw the
I
tweet.
know. It just feels like it's over, you know.
Someone's gonna pick him
Honeymoon's
up.
over.
Does he have to clear waivers? We said or no?
No.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
does he?
he's under. Yeah, he's under 4 years. Yes, he does.
Oh no, it says that he's released.
Yeah, no. Somebody said if he clears, they can put him on the practice squad back. I think he's back when Tyquan and Ty Montgomery go to IR tomorrow. I think he's the guy back.
They probably get wink, wink, nod, nod. Be like, yeah, just go see a movie over there. Maybe go to Bar Louie, hang out for a little bit, and then we'll contact you tomorrow.
It's Dollar Burger Night at Bar Louie. Go hang out.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. It's dollar PBRs and dollar turkey burger night.
Oh, turkey burger now.
I haven't been there in years.
Yeah, when I worked up there, that was my Tuesday dinner. Tre'Davious White for the Bills is starting on reserve pup. He's out the first 4 weeks, so that has an impact on opening night. Covering all those receivers, especially Cooper Kupp, and seeing how Allen Robinson fits in there. So that's impact for the first game that we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And not for us in December.
Yeah.
In January, right? In
Can
January.
we switch the games? Can we be on opening night?
I know. I feel like neither of those would be fun. Miami or Buffalo. I don't want either of those week 1, but that's their new favorite thing to do.
Who do the Cowboys have week 1? The Bucks, right?
Oh, Bucks Sunday Night Football in Jerry World. Yep. Tom Brady, as you guys know, has never lost to Dallas, and I expect that to continue.
I didn't know that.
My nerves.
He's
been so like a douchebag. Tom Brady has ever since going to Tampa. I'm like, you're such a he was so mean to Josh Allen at that golfing
yeah, he really was
match. I'm like, what's your problem, Tom? Like, ever since you left, you just became a real giant prick.
He's Tampa Tom. Tampa Bay. Yeah.
So
no, I was talking to my friend and she was saying that based off of how Brady has been since being in Tampa, like Patriots fans should be thankful that Belichick kept him quiet for 20 years because they're like, this is exactly why he didn't want him talking and doing all these extra things. Is now look at the craziness that he's brought to Tampa.
I feel like a parent when it comes to Tom Brady, the way he's acting. It's like, this is not how I raised you.
Yeah.
Stop acting like this. This is not how he used to be. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm too emotional on this one, but I'm seeing Marcus Spears, former Cowboy, pleading on Twitter all day for Jerry to pick up the phone and go get O.J. Howard, who we talked about. Would that be a fit?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
he's the number 2 tight end.
Yeah. I think you see what the Pats did with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, and even though it failed, Devin Asiasi and Dalton Keene, and go way back to Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. They tried to, these 2 tight end sets. They do a huge help to your running game and obviously your passing game as well. So I don't see why not. He shouldn't be coming at a high price either.
as long as he doesn't actually want to be in Buffalo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like if a practice squad or actual active
Yeah.
roster, it's going to be different.
Yeah, depends on what he's chasing, money or rings, I guess.
He got
Plus,
a
if
ring a
he's-
couple of
yeah.
years ago.
The Cowboys have a chance. They'll blow it up. I mean, they'll blow it. But they still have a chance.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause they're in the NFC and they're in the NFC East. Yep.
And that's a division that we were just talking about. We feel like it's kind of up in the air for anybody at this point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
definitely between Cowboys and Eagles, in my
Agreed.
opinion.
Those are the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Daniel Jones. In fact, I hope the Giants sign him to a 5-year extension.
Yes.
You should start a GoFundMe for the Giants.
Yeah.
Bring
Make him
back
the highest
Daniel
paid
Jones.
quarterback in the
And
league.
Carson Wentz while we're at it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Once.
Oh man, what a poor situation for that kid. The running back for Washington, huh?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Robinson with the
He's doing
shots.
well. But
Good.
Oh yeah,
You
we were
just
just talking. He's back at the facility today.
Good.
They
Is
say
there-
they're-
Oreos in hand.
nice.
Hmm
Can he play this year? Are they hoping he could play in December or something?
He's still on the active roster.
Yeah, they didn't. We were just talking to. We were saying like that after the news broke, media was asking like, when is the timetable? It's like this dude just got shot. Like I think we need to chill a little, but they didn't rule it out. So it's possible. But he was, from what I read, he was shot in the leg, but it didn't hit any ligaments or anything. So that was good news. So I'm assuming that, I mean, he's on crutches and he's already at the facility, that things are looking good for them.
Good. Look,
He's
I
got-
can't stand Washington, but I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So
Oh yeah.
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 The Bills have released punter Matt Barkley. So
Oh.
they're without a
Hunter,
punter.
that's a quarterback, right?
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Oh man.
I was like,
I am I'm so upset for them that they have to find a new punter. Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
What a
Yeah,
lame
that's a travesty.
situation they found themselves in.
What a travesty.
Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh, the Raiders got rid of. They waived Alex Leatherwood.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
first round pick. Yep.
That was Mike Mayock's pick.
Yeah. All right. See what he gets picked up.
Yeah, apparently they couldn't trade him. No, according to Rappaport, 32 teams didn't want him.
So they-
The
Wow.
Raiders reached out to 32 teams.
It's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. As the joke continues, the Raiders called the Raiders and asked if they wanted to to pick him up, and the Raiders said no to the Raiders. So
James
thing
Ziegler
is-
called Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, no.
If it was Mark Davis, it's completely possible.
yes, that is
Yeah.
true. He just called downstairs. Hey, Josh,
He's
what
like
do you
picking
think?
up the other phone.
Yeah.
He's at PF
Yeah.
Chang's.
He's getting his hair cut at Sports Clips
Yeah.
or whatever.
With a bowl on
Yeah.
his head.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
Oh,
look, he looks like Jim Carrey on Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's funny.
So
That's
you know
funny.
what? That report may be true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Mark
In their
Davis.
case, yes.
Texas.
When
So
Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels called him as a prank, he's like, "Hey, do you want to? Ooh, who's that?"
It's like, Mark, where are you?
So the
Yeah,
Patriots have 9 more to be announced, by the way. So I don't know who we're waiting on. I don't know
I
that
just
there's
saw,
anyone
I saw this
surprising.
earlier today. Jimmy G staying in San Fran.
Yeah, that's such a
I
weird
know
situation.
it kind of says a lot. I mean, obviously Kyle Shanahan doesn't know how to run. I mean, he blew this whole situation, but it does say something, I think, a little bit about Garoppolo, because it's like, he didn't seem like he fought for a starting job. It's kind of like, all right, whatever. It's like, all right, I'll stay as a backup. So it just kind of says like he doesn't have that dog in him where he wants to like actually go to a team and actually compete to be a starting quarterback. I don't know. It seems off. Like that he's kind of satisfied with just getting his paycheck and just being a backup.
My
Yeah.
my theory is that he didn't like the teams that would be available to him to go to. Like a lot of people were talking about him going to the Browns. I wouldn't want to go to the Browns if I were him. I mean, other than the obvious, he would only be there for their starter for maybe the first 11 games until Watson comes back. So that's not likely. Probably doesn't want to really go to Seattle. They're a hot mess right now. But So I don't know if maybe they were trying to be respectful and be like, okay, we don't want to send you a team that you don't want to go to. And maybe
Yeah.
that's why he's like, okay, I'll just stay, as the backup. And then next year he gets to pick wherever he wants to go. And there might be more options next year. I don't know. But it is weird. I mean, he's helping them clear a bunch of cap space, but otherwise it seems a little odd. Like, it was the same situation that people were saying the Patriots were in last year, that like you can't have Cam as the backup because then he's just like breathing down the neck of Mac Jones the entire season. So that's kind of like what they're in now with Jimmy and Trey Lance.
And Cam and Mac have two different, they played two different games. So it's like, what is Cam's other than probably there just to support? But even though we know Cam's going to get mad because he's not starting. He thinks in Cam's head, he's like, he thinks he's still a capable starting quarterback, which I think he's delusional.
I love Cam.
He's like, there's 32 quarterbacks that are not better than me. I'm like, yeah, you're right. There are probably 45 that are better than you.
Oh, man, that's rough.
I was like, geez.
Rough.
Hey, he's across the street. He got picked 5th overall. He's playing with kids. So.
Oh, he's the one throwing to Todd Gurley?
Well, Todd Gurley's actually playing quarterback. Cam's playing running back. It's a weird
situation. It's a topsy-turvy kind of day.
Yeah. Yeah, they got an odd number, so they have a steady quarterback over there. So we have a steady quarterback playing pickup football, guys.
Sounds like a good, fun game to me.
All-time QB.
Play both sides.
I want to mention one other Bronco that was waived today. Someone's going to pick this kid up, McTelvin Ajim. In the in the final preseason game, he had 2 forced fumbles, 2 knockdown passes, and a sack. It really came down to the last few minutes with this guy. 6'3", 300-pound defensive tackle. He's only 24, out of Arkansas. Keep your eye on that kid, McTelvin Ajim. He's going to land somewhere. He'll be playing on Sundays.
Yeah, and just going back to scouting him, he kind of got overdrafted a little bit, but he is he's a 3rd down, 3 technique interior pass rusher. That's what he has to be. Don't play him too much against the run. Save him, use him for sub packages. That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
That's where the mistake is made.
No, but he's productive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. He will be. He'll 5 or 6 sacks, but his pressures will be good. Yep. And if he goes to the right spot, he's going to help the outside rusher out a lot by collapsing the pocket. So definite guy to keep your eye on.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, why don't we wrap up 4:37? People are getting out of work, so they'll be able to see the fixes. And David, Sarah, MJ, I thank you very much. Our first time working together. That was pretty fun and smooth. And we'll go swimming. Dave, where's your pool? Can you show a picture of your pool?
Yeah, they're working on it right now. It's an infinity pool. Give me some time. Got the cowboy star in the bottom and the deep end where they belong. So I'll send that back.
Next time that we'll see that the backyard, the finished 5-acre backyard.
Exactly.
Next time, show us a backyard, and then show us like all over the house. Like we'll just take a tour. On each show, we'll take us a tour.
You should just
bathroom one like it's on the
one of 18 bathrooms.
There's a bidet right there.
All right, for MJ, for Sarah, for Hurlbutt, David Hurlbutt, I'm at E2G Founder. Our next show is tonight, 9:30, the night shift. The guys will continue up with cuts and fantasy. So you'll get Zach and Shay tonight at 9:30. Everyone have yourself a great evening. Enjoy the rest of the Cutdown day. We'll see you on the other side.